Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game.
Good morning and welcome to our morning program. I am Lorrieann Adams. Our topic for today is Transcendental Meditation. I know many of you are asking, what is Transcendental Meditation? Stay tuned with us. You will find out more about Transcendental Meditation. With me this morning is our two teachers of Transcendental Meditation, and they're here to elaborate more on Transcendental Meditation and its benefit. Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Richardson, to our program this morning.
Yes, good morning,
Good morning,
and thank you
Lorrieann.
very much for having us on Channel 2. So we would be very happy this morning to tell the viewers as much as possible about the Transcendental Meditation program.
Okay, we'll start. You can tell us a little more about yourself and how you started teaching Transcendental Meditation.
Okay, good. Transcendental Meditation is an organization that's, has been established, throughout the world. I'm from Trinidad. Janini, my wife, she's from Brazil, and we have centers, in all the countries of Latin America practically, and the Caribbean, and of course the United States, Europe, and Asia, Africa. And I started Transcendental Meditation more than 36 years ago.
Okay.
I just, myself, I was young, I was interested, I was involved in sports and so on, and I felt this would be a way to actually enhance my performance. At the time I was swimming for the national swimming team, and that was many years ago. And other activities that I've been involved in, and I thought this would be a useful means to develop myself, and I found it to be very effective. It's a technique that is very simple. You don't have to change your lifestyle or anything like this. It's done in sitting quietly for 15 to 20 minutes, and afterwards then you are finished, you go out into activity and you enjoy the day a lot more. So later on I decided to do a training course. Our organization through our university offers courses for people who would like to become teachers.
Okay.
And I did a training course and became a teacher. So I've been teaching all over the world.
Okay.
Apart from in Trinidad and the Caribbean islands, I've been teaching in Brazil, in Africa, in several countries like Uganda, Zambia, Kenya, Mozambique, in the Philippines, in Holland, where we have our World Center. In the United States, I also taught in Puerto Rico. In the Caribbean, I also managed to teach also a course in Haiti. It's something that, in most countries, people are aware of this program because it's very, very effective and very useful.
Okay, and why did you find it so interested to come to Guyana to teach Transcendental Meditation?
Well, yes, myself and Janini, we were in Brazil. We had been there for the past 8-9 years, and we were assisting with a program where our organization is developing a project of organic agriculture in the Northeast. And here in Guyana, there aren't any teachers. I believe about 30 years ago, there was a center here. But the teachers migrated, and it left the country without teachers. And people here have always been asking about Transcendental Meditation. And some of the people who have learned in the past, they kept asking the regional director if he could send someone to assist them to develop the program, to at least restart a center here. Okay. So they asked us if we can come, so we agreed. So we have been here periodically over the past few months teaching, and sometimes we go to Brazil. We give courses also in Boa Vista and in Manaus. But we have been teaching here constantly for the past few months, and quite a lot of people have been learning.
Okay, and I know there are more people more than likely wondering what is Transcendental Meditation. So could you please elaborate and tell us a little more?
Yes, the Transcendental Meditation technique is a very simple mental technique. It was developed some 54 years ago by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. It comes from a very old tradition in India. It's a very scientific program, very scientific technique. It has been thoroughly researched at many universities, And it has been found to be a simple technique that provides a very deep rest to the mind and the body.
Okay.
And what happens when the mind settles down, when we practice this technique, the brain is enlivened. You use more of the brain potential because the mind settles down and the brain becomes more orderly. So it has been found that, you know, academic performance in students improve, learning ability improves, concentration improves, and yet it's not a difficult technique. It's not something that you have to concentrate or anything like that. It's a very natural way of allowing the system to settle down for a while, just for about 20 minutes. You do it before you go out into activity, and then when you come home in the evening, you sit again, you do the practice, and you get rid of that accumulation of fatigue and tiredness that we naturally will accumulate during the day. So the person feels more fresh, they always feel more revitalized, they sleep better at night, you know, and as a whole, they tend to enjoy, you know, life much more. It's a very simple means of getting the most out of life.
Okay. Is this any form of religion? Because, you know, people are in different religion and they may wonder, what does this have anything to do with religion? With people, if you're a Christian or Hindu, is there any problem?
Yes, it's a natural thing. It's a very universal technique. It comes from a very old tradition in India, but we have, for instance, all its scientific developments and technologies, you know, they come from some place, you know. The discovery of gravity, for instance, was first observed as we know it today in modern science as a principle, a scientific fact in England by Sir Isaac Newton, but it doesn't make it a British law of nature. The same thing, this is a principle that was discovered thousands of years ago in one part of the world, in Asia, in India, and it's a technology of allowing us to experience what we can say the source of our thoughts, you know, to go within, to settle the mind down and experience that quiet state of pure unbounded awareness. Now, this has been found today to be a scientific fact. It's not a mood, it has nothing to do with fate. Anyone from any religion can do it. People of all religions practice it, and it doesn't conflict with one's religion because it's not a dogma. You don't have to start now you know, thinking in a specific way or following any rules. You just practice this technique and you go out into activity. So it's very practical, very, very practical.